So, welcome to the Death of the Author podcast, episode 10. Your world this week in the teen fiction universe and general geekery. You're here with Alexandra, aficionado of all things nerdy and obscure, and Chelsea, writer of many unfinished things and general story connoisseur. This is the podcast for the weeks of February 15th to the 28th.
Happy belated Valentine's Day, everyone.
Woohoo! Yeah. I mean, it's pretty freaking cold here.
Yeah, we just took Chelsea's dog out for a walk, and my glasses froze to my face. No lie.
She needs to put aloe vera on that burn, because there are actual burn marks where the glasses sit. It's quite something to see.
Yeah.
Minus 34 with the wind chill was what we were sitting at last count. So we've been mostly pretending that we want to hibernate all day.
Yeah, hiding out.
But we've been outside more than our fair share.
Yep.
Okay. So we have a few things that have just been released or are upcoming. One of them was our Informal Gathering Darkness review for the Morgan Rhodes book. That's been good. We just rewatched that, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I kind of go a little weird in that review. I'm so excited and happy to talk about a book that I really, really like, and I do voices.
And they're the funniest things you've ever seen, because they're not good voices, but they are voices.
I think my favorite is my King Gaius voice, and I tried to do it again, and I haven't been able to do it. So,
no.
One time only.
One time only, King Gaius. Here for your amusement. Yeah, we get pretty silly. We have things coming up. It is supposed to be Vampire Month. We've been a little slow on the draw, but we do have vampire things eventually coming your way. There is the top 15, what the fuck, moments of the strain. That is...
We absolutely adore The Strain, the TV show, and it is full of moments that leave you wondering, why? Why is this happening? This is glorious, but why is this happening? So we count down our top 15 best what the fuck moments, and that video is almost done, actually. So look at me go.
Yeah, check it along. We are eventually going to do a Vampire Academy review. It took a lot to make us actually sit down and rewatch that movie.
We did, though. We watched it. We took notes.
So it will be coming your way eventually, hopefully by the end of the month, which seems to be getting closer and closer and closer. We also have Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey. That will be an informal review, and that will definitely be out by the end of the month. I'm reading that right now.
And what are you thinking of it?
Right now it reads like a chick flick romance novel. But all the children have just died, so I feel like things are going to be moving in a different direction, but it's still kind of chick flicky and romance movie right now.
I know, it's kind of, it's written really to, like, it's just very, I don't know, I wouldn't say straight to the point, but this is what's happening. This is how it's happening.
Yeah, it's very cut and dry, I guess.
Yeah. But it's an easy read. I did that in 4 hours, so.
Yeah, I've just been kind of reading it on the train. But yes. So we have some releases coming out in the next 2 weeks. Some of them sound really interesting. So on the 17th, there is The Distance Between Lost and Found by Catherine Holmes. That one's about some bullying or some like life-changing events, and then all of a sudden this girl and her bullies or her people who she has issues with get lost in the woods and they have to deal with their issues. A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas is actually a Sleeping Beauty narrative.
We're getting a lot of fairy tales.
I know, right? I can't get away from them. that one seems interesting. It's definitely different than, like, the Princess of Thorns Sleeping Beauty kind of adaptation there, but then there's No Parking at the End of Times, which is culty.
I love my culty books.
I know you do. Shadow Study by Maria V. Schneider, which I have read the other ones. It is a sequel. It is, if you haven't read Poison Study, start there. It's a good place to start. And it's actually pretty good. Pretty entertaining. Good characters. Interesting plot lines. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And The Cipher by John C. Ford, which is a book about a friend committing suicide. Another one. There are lots out there this year. But decoded messages from the friend, and their friend's life wasn't what they thought it was, and all that fun times. So, our feature book is No Parking at the End of Times by Brian Bliss.
Of course, you picked the culty book for me.
I did.
Okay, so the summary. Abigail doesn't know how her dad found Brother John. Maybe it was the billboards or the radio. What she does know is that he never should have made that first donation, or the next, or the next. Her parents shouldn't have sold their house or packed Abigail and her twin brother Aaron into their old van to drive across the country to San Francisco, to be there with Brother John for the end of the world, because of course the end didn't come. And now they're living in their van, and Aaron's disappeared to who knows where every night. Their family is falling apart. All Abigail wants is to hold them together, to get them back to the place where things were right. But maybe it's too big a task for one teenage girl. Oh, so it's post-cult.
I like that phrase. Yeah, it's post-cult. What do you do when you make a bet on the wrong end of times?
Okay, well that sounds like it'll be fun. I'll read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throw it on my ridiculously tall to-be-read pile. By ridiculously tall, I mean it's taller than me.
We just read Princess of Thorns.
Yeah, you know what? I want to go back to that fairy tale thing. What's with all of the fairy tale books?
I don't know.
Because everywhere I look, there are fairy tale adaptations. And not just, like, retellings in the fantasy world. We get ridiculous. Like, we have ridiculous fairy tale premises happening. Like, we have fairy tale books that take place in, like, sci-fi future dystopias. We have fairy tale books modern fairy tales. We have classic, like, medieval fantasy fairy tales. What is the deal with fairy tales recently?
It's not even like, hey, there was this TV show that just came out that's kind of, like, boosted it, like, Once Upon a Time, because that was a few years ago that's been out. It's just been, like, a unexpected resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, we did our dystopian kick. We seem to be moving towards fairy tales, meaning my last two predictions have been wrong.
What did you predict?
My last two predictions were dark fantasy and necromancers. We went through a phase where I was finding necromancer books everywhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome, Cabal's gonna get some airtime, and then we just, went right back to...
Well, I guess maybe fairy tales, because fairy tales is the lighter side of dark fantasy, which we were getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of back to that, like, kind of happy-go-lucky, oh, things will be alright at the end, and we're not all gonna die horribly, awfully, in a dark, dark corner.
Well, from when we were talking to Susan Kokel, though, she was just like, there's no definite end to fairy tales. So, is it that we're trying to make happy endings to things that don't have happy endings? Are we trying to desperately give ourselves the happy ever afters that we don't have?
I don't know. I mean, you look at some books and they're like, oh yeah, we'll all live happily ever after, and then some of the fairy stories are like, this stuff fucks you up. One of them, like, Tear You Apart. It's kind of like, yes, some people get their happy endings, but other people end up dead in the most horrible, awful way possible. Just like, like if you're the cursed to be the evil queen, your life fucking sucks because you have to kill a bitch or you get killed. So I don't know. Maybe, like, fairy tales are like that, like, kind of balanced version where you're like, some people get to be happy and some people do not.
Well, from what you've said about Tear Me Apart, which I have not read yet. It sounds very fairy tale meta, like playing with the roles. Like, we all know our fairy tale archetypes. You know, you have the evil stepmother, you have the hero. But do you really want it? Like, are you the evil stepmother because you want to be the evil stepmother? Or are you the evil stepmother because, you know, that guy you married who had that daughter was kind of a jackass, and so now you're getting your much needed revenge, and narration just paints you as the villain. Maybe you weren't actually the villain.
Read the book.
Oh.
No, read the book. But yeah, I would definitely recommend Tear You Apart by Sarah Cross. That was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Reminded me a bit of Holly Black.
Oh, the modern fairy tales. I love the modern fairy tales.
But she had her own kind of, like, light. I don't know. It was good. Just read it. Yeah. Oh, so it is winter and we're freezing. We're in a basement. I'm huddled under a blanket. So what is your cure for the winter blahs?
Drinking a lot of tea. And reading books that take place in places like deserts.
Really?
No. Yes, actually. If it's summer related, this is when I read it. It's either that or I'm reading really weird, depressing horror. I went through such a serious horror kick the last month and a half.
Like being shut into your house just makes your brain go to dark places?
Yeah, I read Suffer the Children. I read The Girl with All the Gifts. I read Consumed. I've been kind of eyeing more horror books, but I keep thinking, oh, you know, I'm supposed to be reading Seeker. I just started Seeker. That's more fantasy. That's not horror. But I don't know what it is. I've just been really wanting to read scary books lately.
Well, that sounds interesting. I've been kind of eyeing, actually, on that topic, I've been eyeing John Connolly's The Book of Lost Things.
Oh, that book's amazing! Yeah. That, like, combines fairy tales and horror!
Yeah, I've been wanting to pick that up.
Oh, it's so good. That book messed with me!
Yeah, so I think that might be my next thing to pick up when I finish Suffer the Children, but then again, I have all this other shit I need to read, so will it happen? That's a very good question.
I've also been trying to read and watch more vampire-related things, because this is supposed to be Vampire Month. So I've returned to the dark, despicable corner of the Vampire Diaries. I've Suffered the Children. I've been tempted to pick up the sequel to The Strain. It's just kind of staring at me from my bookshelf. Yeah, I mean, maybe wait till The Strain actually starts to come out with the new season. I don't know. They did release their first promo for The Strain Season 2. But the big Del Toro news, I know this is technically not book related, but I'll give you a free pass this time. Okay, well, they just recently released the first trailer for Crimson Peak. It's Del Toro's haunted movie, like, haunted house movie, and I am so excited. She really is. It's gonna scare the pants off of me. It really looks creepy. I'm not gonna lie, like, hands kind of, like, floating out of the darkness. Like, in the trailer, there's this scene, this brief scene, and I only noticed it when I was screen capping it for a blog post. The sister's playing the piano. And those aren't her hands. She has monster hands. Ah! And I was just like, whoa. What? And then, of course, at one point, someone's in a bathtub and there's, like, a monster over them and, like, blood is rising to the ceiling. Like, I have no idea what's going on in that trailer. But just holy crap. It's just so pretty. Like, Tom Hiddleston. It just looks so pretty. Like, the colors and just... And Tom Hiddleston. Okay, come. I'm trying to talk about cinematography, and you keep throwing Tom Hiddleston in my face. Is it working? Yes, it's working. Please stop. No, but he's, I was reading an interview with him and Del Toro, and he was saying that this is his first chance in a very long time to return to the type of storytelling that he does in a lot of his Spanish movies. So this is going to be closer to Pan's Labyrinth than to Pacific Rim and Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of really excited because he's really good at world building and crafting these like really creepy, I'm going to say the word again, fairy tale-esque worlds.
Yeah, actually that is pretty damn exciting. Right? Like, he gets to do what he does best. Yup. And this one's actually horror versus Pan's Labyrinth when you're just like, boo, okay.
When it was like dark fantasy.
Dark, yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, I do too. Except for like, there's just some scenes that make me cringe even in my head. Like when that guy gets his mouth slashed.
Oh, yeah.
Or he beats the guy who was smuggling the rabbits.
Yeah.
Those make me cringe.
I think the scene in that movie that was the most uncomfortable for me to watch was when the toad throws its insides up.
Really?
I don't know why. For some reason, that really creeped me out when I first saw that movie. Like, more than the Pale Man. And the Pale Man scared me.
When he, like, bites the head off that fairy.
Yeah. Like, ugh. But, the cinematography. And just, if you look at Pan's Labyrinth, just the layers of symbols upon symbols upon symbols, it's crazy. Like, the parallels between the Pale Man and the Captain, like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good movie coming out actually in October.
Like, right for Halloween.
No,
I'm gonna be there opening night.
I'm sure you'll have Drag Me with you.
Most likely. I'll need people to drag me there, because I'll get myself there, and then I'll, like, want to back out and hide somewhere, so, rest of the way.
Oh, yeah. So, it looks like it's gonna be good. My method of combating the winter blahs is to pile myself under as many blankets as I can find and just read anything. I don't even care what it is. But it's gotta be good. Like, I'm less tolerant of stuff that just isn't on, like, top shelf, I guess.
It has to hold your attention?
Yeah. Because if it doesn't hold my attention, then I'm not distracted from the cold. And, yeah. Tea is also a very good helper, but I think I prefer chocolate.
I don't know. I mean, I have been doing a lot of reading this month. I've probably been doing a lot more gaming, though. I don't know. I think it's the lying to myself that I'm being active.
Yeah. With
the gaming. Like, I'm controlling the narrative. I'm in control of my life. I'm not outside shoveling in negative 31 degrees.
I think I went through that phase at Christmas time. And I haven't touched a video game since.
Well, I'm drowning in Shadow of Mordor.
Mm-hmm. I need to finish Banner Saga.
Yes, you need to finish Banner Saga.
You've, like, played it, like, 6 times.
Banner Saga, for those who have never heard of it, is this game put out by Stoic, and it is amazing. It is like a choose-your-own-adventure mixed with old-school Final Fantasy fighting, and all of your decisions affect your outcome, and it's so much fun, and the mythology is amazing.
And it's so pretty.
It's like traditional Disney animation style. And I can't recommend this game more. I've played through, as Chelsea said, like 6 times.
She gave it to you at Christmas time, like, play it! Play it now!
I was talking about this game to everyone, and then nobody was playing it, so I just bought it for everyone I knew. Like, sent it to them.
When she doesn't get her way, she makes it happen. Oh, that's so funny. But I really enjoyed it. And I'm not touching anything. I haven't touched Dragon Age Inquisition, which I am in love with. I've stopped kind of like right before the final quest, because I just don't want it to end. Oh.
I think with a lot of the video games I have been playing lately, it has been based off of narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm falling into the hole that is cross-platform media. and specifically with Shadow of Mordor, the way that they are kind of trying to stick themselves into the Tolkien mythos, and some of the ways they're doing it is absolutely phenomenal, and some of the ways they're doing it kind of makes me laugh because it's really clever. Like, I was reading about the backstory of one of these villains, and they're like, oh yeah, not much is known about him, blah blah blah, so many different origin stories people are telling, blah blah blah, somebody said that he killed 2 of the Astari, blah blah blah. And I'm just sitting there at my desk, and I have this stupid grin on my face, and I'm like, I see what you did there. Because the Astari are the 5 wizards of Middle-earth. 2 of them have disappeared.
Oh.
The 2 blue wizards.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh, you so clever. Someone in that writing team is a genius.
That's really funny. They just disappeared. So you've got, like, 2 blue wizards, a brown wizard, a white wizard, and a gray wizard.
Yep.
Why those colors?
I have no idea.
Just because.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, this has been our winter podcast of things we have been thinking because it is cold.
I hope you enjoyed our random train of thought.
Yeah. We are going to be looking into doing more author interviews. We're hoping maybe Morgan Rhodes might give us an interview and a few others. So, yeah, there's that to look forward to. Mm-hmm. We will keep you posted on that. We will be back in March 1st. So, we will see you guys later. If you guys want to follow us on the interwebs, we are at www.doftheA.com. We're on Twitter at doftheareviews. She is at Zeres_Loki. If you find one of us, you'll find the other one. And we're also on Tumblr. Yeah, so we will see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.